Hi ladies, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my top fragrances for the fall for women, designer fragrances. I may do a part 2 with niche fragrances, so leave a comment below if you'd like to hear my niche fragrance picks for the fall. I feel like fall is just such an amazing season for fragrance wears. It's one of those things where all summer long, you know, we're just biting at the bit to pull out our fall fragrances. The warmer, more sensual, spicier, more gourmand fragrances. I will be doing a lot of traveling this fall, and I will definitely be bringing these fragrances with me because I am a huge gourmand fall fragrance lover. Even though it's very hot, I will still be wearing them here. Anyway, let's jump into the list. The first one that I have is definitely the most sexy and dominant, attention-grabbing one. And this one is Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. And this is such a stunning, grown-up, boss bitch kind of fragrance. This one is the kind of fragrance where you walk into the room and everyone just, you know, stands to attention. You grab the attention of the whole room. That's why I say it's kind of dominating, because it just, to me, feels like a very powerful woman in a bottle. This fragrance has some notes like mandarin orange, Turkish rose, jasmine, ylang ylang, patchouli, musk, vanilla, and vetiver, and a little bit of tonka. It's definitely perfect for a date night. It's very strong. You'll get a ton of projection and last forever. So perfect for the nighttime in the fall. Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. So the next one on the list is definitely very sexy, but in a totally different way than the last one. And this one is LaBelle Le Parfum by Jean-Paul Gaultier. And like I said, it's just as sexy, but in a much softer, more feminine way. This one is more gourmand. It is like a beautiful caramelized pear fragrance. Has a little bit of vanilla and tonka bean and a touch of jasmine. It's a pretty simple fragrance, but there is a ton of depth in this, and it's just so sexy. This is one of those fragrances that I wear, and I just basically wear it for myself because it's just so comforting and delicious, and it makes me so happy. So definitely try this one. LaBelle Le Parfum. Definitely go for the Le Parfum versus just the original Eau de Parfum. I definitely enjoy this one more, stronger, and sexier. So the next one on the list that I have is Givenchy L'Interdit. This is the Rouge version, and I just picked this one up. This is a very hyped, talked about fragrance, and I wanted to include this in the list because this is a very popular one for the fall, but it is newer to the market. It only just came out in 2021. It is a very strong feminine fragrance that is insanely sensual. It's warm and spicy and sweet with notes like ginger, blood orange, tuberose, a little bit of jasmine, has some pimento leaf with sandalwood and patchouli. It's a very soft floral scent with sweetness from the orange, but it has a little bit of kick as well from the vetiver, the patchouli, and the ginger. And it just gives us this really nice depth. But I will say for me, and this is where it's interesting because fragrance is so subjective and it means so many different things to, you know, everyone. For me, on my skin, this reminded me of grape soda. Very weird connection, but it's just what it screamed to me. I think the ginger kind of gives it this bubbliness, and it just reminded me of like purple soda. And it also kind of reminded me, I only smelled this fragrance once, so I don't know if this, you know, if I were to go smell it again, I would say the same thing, but it also kind of reminded me a little bit of the new Viktor and Rolf Good Fortune, that it also gave me that kind of grape soda vibe. So I don't know, I could be totally crazy, but it's still really nice. And this is a very strong fragrance, very long lasting, and very good value. So the next one on the list is one that's been out forever. Came out in 2004, but it's one of those fragrances where if you know, you know. And I don't think that it's talked about anywhere near as much as it deserves. So I am going to be adding it to my list. This is Versace Crystal Noir. And this one is the Eau de Toilette. I definitely recommend picking up the Eau de Toilette over the Eau de Parfum. I mean, it all kind of comes down to personal preference. There's just slight nuances between the fragrances, but this one I personally think is just, oh my God, out of this world sexy. This is a very beautiful coconut fragrance. This one literally makes me drool. It's so good. It's definitely the sexiest on this list. This one just screams sex in my opinion. It's so sensual. It's so mysterious and inviting. It has notes like ginger and pepper, a little bit of cardamom, and it has a very, very strong coconut scent, which is very nice and refreshing. Sandalwood, musk, and amber in the base, and it's just so good. And I also found this at TJ Maxx. This is the 1.7 fluid ounce bottle for only $55, and it also came with like body lotions and things like that. So you can get them at the rack stores, but this one I would have absolutely no issue paying full price for this because, oh my God, this is probably my second favorite on the list. I can't say the first, my second favorite. So it might be my second favorite on the list, but it is definitely the sexiest. I blind bought this just because it was recommended to me by some people that I know on Instagram. I literally, like, my jaw dropped when I smelled it for the first time. I was like, oh, like literally, this smells amazing. I lost it a lot. I was like excited as I am right now, all by myself in the car smelling this. So definitely try this one out. If you try any of these on this list, definitely try Versace Crystal Noir. So now I'll tell you guys about my favorite one, which is not designer, but I wanted to put it on the list anyway. And I wanted to include it also because of this bottle you can get for cheaper than some of the ones on this list, the designer prices. You can get this 1 ounce bottle from Xerjoff for only $90. This one is Lira. I think it's better to get smaller bottles anyway if you like to collect, because then you actually have a chance of wearing the whole bottle. I don't think, like, I have mostly small bottles. You'll notice in my collection I don't go out and buy the biggest size just because I think it's a little silly because I'm constantly rotating them. But this one is so delicious. This one is definitely the most gourmand on the list. And when I first smelled this for the first time, my initial thought was a warmer orange dreamsicle ice cream bar is what it reminded me of. And it also gets compared quite often to like a very nice holiday lemon cookie. And that is also a very good description. This is so good. This is a very, very special fragrance. It's very gourmand, like I said, but it has so much depth and so much balance to it. This one has notes like blood orange, bergamot, lavender, cinnamon, licorice, which is what I think adds the most depth to this, is the licorice note. It has some jasmine, some caramel that really comes through, and vanilla, and just a little bit of musk in the base. It is just truly iconic and so perfect for the fall and winter. This one will really shine in the autumn. It's so cozy, and I just think it embodies the cooler weather so well. Definitely recommend trying the smaller bottle. I know that when I bought this for the first time, I bought it directly from the Xerjoff website, and they give you a really good percentage off for your first order. I think I got $20 off, so amazing deal. So the last one I have on this list is one for the cherry lovers. This is Lovefest Burning Cherry by Kayali. And this one is said to be compared to Tom Ford Lost Cherry. I've smelled it. It's very similar, but I think this one is honestly better. This is a brand new fragrance from the Kayali line. It was just released a month or two ago, and it is just so sexy. It's very deep and sensual and woody. I love the wood notes in this combined with the cherry. It's iconic. There's a praline note in this that just adds a little touch of gourmand, a little touch of dessert, which you guys know I love in a fragrance. And this one is definitely better than Lost Cherry because it lasts probably twice as long. It lasts so much longer than Lost Cherry. This one also has some notes like Palo Santo, some vetiver, and it also has a little bit of florals, but it doesn't really shine through the most. For me, I just get the cherry, I get the woodiness, and I get the praline. It's just maybe a tiny touch of smokiness from the Palo Santo. It's really good, and I really love that Kayali offers the mini bottles as sample sizes, so you kind of get the experience of like having a full bottle in your collection, but just getting to try it out for yourself. So I really like this one and think it's really good for the fall. So that is my list of fall fragrances for women. Leave a comment below what your favorite fragrances to wear in the cooler weather. I would love to hear what your thoughts are, and also let me know if you try any of these. I would love to hear from you guys. I would love it if you guys could connect with me on Instagram. We can chat, you can share your thoughts about fragrances that I recommend, and I think it's just a good place to have an extra community, so make sure to follow me there. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.